Children learn more from what you are than what you teach. Believe in life. Always human beings will progress to greater, broader, and fuller life. The worker must work for the glory of his handiwork, not simply for pay. The thinker must think for truth, not for fame. Either America will destroy ignorance or ignorance will destroy the United States. There is but one coward on earth, and that is the coward that dare not know. I believe that all men, black, brown, and white, are brothers. To the real question, how does it feel to be a problem? I answer seldom a word. The most important thing to remember is this: to be ready at any moment to give up what you are for what you might become. Eastward and westward storms are breaking. Great, ugly whirlwinds of hatred and blood and cruelty. I will not believe them inevitable. America is not another word for opportunity to all her sons. To be a poor man is hard, but to be a poor race in a land of dollars is the very bottom of hardships. In all things purely social, we can be as separate as the five fingers, and yet one is the hand in all things essential to mutual progress. He began to have a dim feeling that to attain his place in the world, he must be himself and not another. We have no right to sit silently by while the inevitable seeds are sown for a harvest of disaster to our children, black and white. The light, true college will ever have but one goal: not to earn meat, but to know the end and aim of that life which meat nourishes. Ignorance is a cure for nothing. A true education aims at the formation of character. Education is that whole system of human training within and without the schoolhouse walls, which molds and develops men. The cost of liberty is less than the price of repression. The world is not a problem to be solved. It is a living being to which we belong. We must not only listen to what a man says, but also to what he does not say. It is a peculiar sensation, this double consciousness, this sense of always looking at oneself through the eyes of others. There is no such thing as a pure objective point of view. Every man is a subject, and his objectivity is conditioned by his subjectivity. The soul cannot be long without food, and the soul of man can be fed only by God. For this much all men know. Despite compromise, war, and struggle, the Negro is not free. Perhaps having already reached conclusions in our own minds, we are loath to have them disturbed by facts. Reader, be assured this narrative is no fiction. Only in the chamber of death writhed the world's most piteous thing, a childless mother. Truth forever on the scaffold, wrong forever on the throne. Not simply for pay. The thinker must think for truth, not for fame. Why did God make me an outcast and a stranger in mine own house? It is easier to do ill than well in the world. The chief problem in any community cursed with crime is not the punishment of the criminals, but the preventing of the young from being trained to crime. In those somber forests of his striving, his own soul rose before him, and he saw himself, darkly as through a veil. I have called my tiny community a world, and so its isolation made it. And yet there was among us but a half-awakened common consciousness. In its place stood progress. And progress, I understand, is necessarily ugly. The price of repression is greater than the cost of liberty. The degradation of men costs something both to the degraded and those who degrade. But the very voices that cry hail to this good work are, strange to relate, largely silent or antagonistic to the higher education of the Negro. The South ought to be led by candid and honest criticism to assert her better self and, to her full duty to the race she has cruelly wronged and is still wronging. How does it feel to be a problem? I answer seldom a word. Be content to be servants and nothing more. What need of higher culture for half men? Life treads on life and heart on heart. We press too close in church and mart to keep a dream or grave apart. Mrs. Browning. How hard a thing is life to the lowly, and yet how human and real. Strive for that greatness of spirit that measures life not by its disappointments, but by its possibilities. John Brown taught us that the cheapest price to pay for liberty is its cost today. Make yourself do unpleasant things so as to gain the upper hand of your soul. A resistless feeling of depression falls slowly upon us, despite the gaudy sunshine and the green cotton fields. This then is the cotton kingdom, the shadow of a marvelous dream. There is no force equal to a woman determined to rise, only that saner selfishness, which education teaches men, can find the rights of all in the whirl of work. Through history, the powers of single black men flash here and there like falling stars, and die sometimes before the world has rightly gauged their brightness.